Hello, everybody, and welcome to one of two very special Mass Effect collision? No, Mass Effect Revolution. It's late. We're doing this later than I normally am used to. Welcome to another Mass Effect Revolution episode, but this is a very special, traditional crossover session. For those of you who have no idea what that is, with all of the campaigns that I've been doing up to this point, there is a tradition where somehow, at some point, the characters of the current campaign end up mixed up in the world or universe of the characters from the previous campaign. In our case, it is the Pokemon Spectrum tabletop campaign, so somehow our Mass Effect heroes ended up in the world of Pokemon. And I'm sure a lot of really interesting shenanigans will ensue because of that. So we have with us several, as you can see, new faces, visitors, who are legacy players, legacy characters that are reprising their roles for this crossover session. And as you can see, we are missing half of our other Mass Effect players. That is because we are splitting up these crossovers into two separate versions. So this is actually session 15 red, and then the next session will be session 15 blue. And they are supposedly happening simultaneously to each other, so you can technically watch them really in any order that you'd like. And so you will see Nathan and Gimmick and what they're going to be doing with the other half of the Pokemon cast there. That just makes things a lot easier for us, so we don't have 9 or 10 people on the chat all at once, and we can be a little bit more focused. So just a warning, if you are watching this and had any plans to also watch the Pokemon tabletop campaign as well, there will probably be a lot of spoilers, possibly major spoilers from this campaign in this session, simply because this session takes place approximately 8 years after the events of Pokemon Spectrum, believe it or not. So if you're sensitive to that, just giving you a fair warning. If you decide to skip these two sessions, either because A, you don't want to spoil yourself, or B, maybe crossover sessions isn't your thing. If you're like, Mass Effect and Pokemon, that's a little weird to me. Totally get it, totally understand. You should be able to just easily skip this and then come back to session 16 proper, and whatever major things in the plot that you missed should be pretty easy to pick right back up. So, without further ado, let us start by introducing our guest players, along with a pre-warm-up question. So whoever will volunteer first, tell us your name, where you are from, and what characters, plural, because you each did two, that you portrayed in the campaign. And finally, give us a summary of what your character has been up to in the last 8 years.
Hi everyone, I am Roma Hez, and you all can call me Roma. I'm originally from America, but I live in South Korea right now. In the Pokemon campaign, I played Molly Moon and also the Grimer Ew. And during this session, I'm actually going to also be playing her Crobat Bullet, since the player who normally plays Bullet is in the other group. Yeah, Molly grew up in the foster system, and she never had a real family for most of her life. And then she ended up with some foster parents who were named Dylan and Irene Ray. And she was very happy with them, but at one point she ran away because she was scared that she would have to leave. She would have to go back into the foster system again. The Rays ended up in danger, and she ended up having to go and rescue them. She also ended up falling in love with someone, and they ended up getting married during the epilogue. And and yeah, overall, she had a very troubled past, but I like to think she grew into a tough young young lady now. Um, for the At the end of Pokemon Spectrum, she actually started she started a special task force, and it's made up of all the members of her team and also the other team in Pokemon Spectrum. And basically, for the past 8 years, she's been acting as the leader of the team. And I like to think she tries really hard to be a good leader, but inwardly, she's still very insecure. She worries a lot about well, first of all, the big choice they had to make. She wonders a lot about whether it was the right choice. She wonders whether the people who disagreed with the choice, whether they were right all along. And basically, she's just trying to make sure everyone deals with the consequences. And also, I will say, it's apparently these days it's very peaceful in the Pokemon world, but Molly never fully accepted that nothing else would come up. Like, she is always on guard these days, and not as much as in the beginning probably, but she's still always alert. So she's slightly paranoid these days.
So I'm Ella. I'm from Australia. Apparently my accent shows up more on recordings, so probably can tell. In Pokemon Spectrum, I played Noir Sinclair. She's a psychic from not originally this universe she's currently living in. The last one kind of got screwed over by many reasons. So she left. She also kind of ran afoul with Giratina because she stole someone from the underworld to bring them back to life. That resulted in her working for Giratina in the future to kind of smooth things over. She has a complicated relationship with her partner for many reasons. And she ended up meeting the Pokemon crew and went through a lot, which brought back some bad memories. And also, she kind of also endeared her to the people in the world, or at least a few people in the world. And big choice happened, and she didn't agree with it, but she didn't see a way to stop it either. Over the 8 years, she's worked through a lot of therapy from one therapist in particular, and she's gotten better in some respects, but there's still lingering pain and side effects and stuff of everything that happened. But she has 2 kids now, Lucille and Loxy. She has a stable relationship, and she worked in disaster relief for a while, but recently she started heading in a different career path towards more law enforcement, because she can speak with some of the dead, and the skills that she picked up through the dream catchers kind of lend themselves towards stopping crimes. And to ease her guilt, she's like, maybe if I solve people's murders, maybe that will make all the things I did wrong better. So that's Noir.
I'm Petra, or the Selfwind on YouTube. I played the characters Tiffany, Benoit, and Lux. Tiffany during the campaign started out every girl, I guess, in a sense, well-to-do family, but she decided, I want to do hair! And she didn't. She was very good at it, but decided, I want to do other things. I want to be a contest consultant. Met the dream catchers, got her job, went on many, many adventures that tested her mental and borderline. I'm trying not to have a nervous breakdown today, but it's been a good day. We accomplished stuff. Go team. Now that we're post-game these last 8 years, she got married to her wonderful boyfriend, Kyle. So she is now Tiffany Jenny. She did take his last name because it feels like that's something that would be important to Kyle. For business, though, as she started up beguiling, she had beguiling Benoit during the campaign, it was so small, but it has grown into its own gigantic empire, and she has been, this is my baby. I will do everything. And she has. She's done armor, she's done accessories, she's done clothing lines, she's done medicine. She's always trying to meet people, always trying to expand her influence, her contacts. Yeah, she's been busy.
So now, Kiwi and Mikhail, you have a chance after you've heard about these three characters and what they've been up to. Do you have any questions, follow-up questions you want to ask any of these three?
Ella, you did mention that Nora is going into law enforcement. Does that also include the Dreamcatchers? As in, like, is Nora also part of the Dreamcatchers? Because I don't think you mentioned that.
Oh, yeah. I said that her work with the Dreamcatchers kind of led her in that direction, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Noir is actually Molly's right hand in the Dreamcatchers. So, yeah, Noir is Molly's right hand, and Tiffany's kind of the left hand, but also like she's also the treasurer and the social. She's the social of the group, basically.
Molly has evolved to Liliana levels. Congratulations.
Let's social together. Let's social
Yes.
together.
I have questions so that I know how to roleplay some things. Let me start with Ella. What has been going on with your brother? What's going on with your brother 8 years later?
8 years later, Fabian. Well, Fabian's getting got a lot of aura training help from Annie, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
And also just from experts in general. He's doing a lot better. Because of his aura abilities and stuff, he's also becoming more independent and stuff. He's a lot older now.
Mm-hmm.
He still needs help from now and then because he can't really do books or like mind finances and stuff, but Noah's still very much part of his life and stuff, but he also is kind of he's trying out living it away from home, but with like a carer nearby to like help him if he needs something immediately. But yeah, he's still grown up.
Yeah. Okay, so he's trying to live on his own, but he's still like maybe like a block away or something.
Yeah, and he also like has a carer who lives like next door or something who can drop by if something immediately bad happens.
Okay. Wonderful. Question for Tiffany. Is there anything within the last year that suggests that you have a family with Kyle?
Oh yeah, we did talk about this, didn't we?
Because I don't know what you decided.
Tiffany is in her second month of pregnancy at the moment.
And is this the first one? The first? Yep. Oh, okay. Second month. Wow. Okay. Very cool. All right. So let's do the warm-up questions for the Mass Effect characters, and I will also ask the Pokemon character players the same thing. Which of the characters from the opposite campaign are you most looking forward to role-playing with, and why?
You know what? I'm not saying this to avoid answering the question. I'm going to say this because honestly, I want to roleplay with all of you guys. Oh my god, sorry. It's just, I'm so excited because I really love Pokemon Spectrum. And so I kind of really hope to. I would have loved if I could roleplay with all of you guys from like the original group. But you know what? 3 out of 5, I'll take it, and I love it. So.
But if you had to pick one, Mikhail, if you had to pick one,
Curse you.
We're not allowed to do cheaty answers.
there's only 3 out of the 5 to choose, so it should be easier.
Eeny, miny, mo, catch up by your toe. Okay. I'll pick. You know what? I'll go with the leader herself, Molly.
And give us a reason besides the eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Well, because she's a badass.
Okay. Okay.
Let's go with that.
How about Vito?
Yeah, considering recent events in the campaign, I'm very excited to roleplay with Ella, or Noor. Yeah, considering pretty much everything in session 13, I'm feeling there will be very interesting questions raised by psychic abilities.
Okay.
Okay, I feel bad because I wanted this all the way back when I saw auditions before I even knew who the final cast was. I wanted to meet Dia.
And why is that?
She finally can have someone else to girly girl with. Not that Noir and Molly are not wonderful friends.
Honey, you don't understand how hard it is being such a brutish
I
group,
know!
okay? Like, you don't understand the how beautiful Karen from Finance really was, okay?
Secretly, that pairing is what I currently am looking forward to the most. But that's just me.
I'm quite curious and looking forward to the most with interacting with Vito. I know a few things about the Mass Effect campaign. I don't know everything that happened, but what have I picked up through the grapevine and stuff? And then, like, I watched like the first beginning session, like ages ago. So I was like, could be interesting. Considering what I know. And also the psychic thing just brought up, it's like, oh, something clearly went down.
Oh yeah, something. Hark. No, I love you, Hark. You're awesome.
And on that note, Roma.
You know, of course, cop-out answer, I'm looking forward to both, to role-playing with both. But if I had to pick one, I would say, I think Molly's interactions with Dia would also be very interesting. I also don't know very much. I don't know very much. From what I've heard, Dia can be a bit sassy. So I think that would be very interesting interaction with Molly. But yeah, mostly I'm just looking forward to seeing how Molly will react to these two weird-looking person things that suddenly appear in Pokemon.
Cool.
It's gonna be great.
All right. So just to give everybody an overview of what the world is like, especially for people who are tuning in who didn't see the campaign. So this is a slightly altered, an attempt to be a more realistic version of the Pokemon universe, if it were to be something that actually happened in real life. And the biggest thing to note is that everybody in this universe everybody sees each other as equals. By that I mean humans and Pokemon, they tend to see each other as equals. So there is no discrimination. They don't think that a certain person is necessarily better than the other. And because of that, they've been able to coexist very well. A lot of the rules that apply to humans also apply to Pokemon and vice versa. That doesn't mean that there's no crime. That doesn't mean that there's no conflict, because even in that environment, people can still have differing opinions, people can still argue, people can still, do terrible things to each other, but it's not because they think that it's because Pokemon is better than humans or vice versa. It's just, they just want to do terrible things, but zero to do with who each person is. Because of that, everyone here is vegetarian. It is against the law to consume meat that is considered sentient beyond like fruits and vegetables and plants, unless they are Pokemon plants, because they're different, because they actually are sentient. So there is a classification difference. And that's basically all you need to know. If the two Mass Effect players could have a little bit of patience, because I want to set things up with the 3 Pokemon characters first, I would like for the 3 of you to roll initiative, please.
It's been so long.
Noir, one thing that has been also keeping you busy, if you wish for it to, are your duties serving the god of the underworld. And it is meant to be the kind of thing where you get to clock in and clock out whenever you want. You get to set your own hours. Because the god of the underworld wanted you to give you the freedom of spending as much time as you believe is right for you to spend on it. So if weeks pass, months pass, it doesn't seem like the god pays any mind. You just decide, you know what, I feel like, doing some good work for the underworld now, so I'll just clock in. And so that's what you do. And sometimes that means that when you clock in, you won't if you're clocked out, if you're off the clock, random spirits are not going to just suddenly appear before you, like in the middle of the night. That's only happens when you mentally clock in, usually using the golden scythe in order to do so. So why don't we assume that currently you're on duty, and you sense that there is a death that is about to happen, and you're going to make your way over to a house where there is a little boy who is holding on the paw of an Eevee. And this Eevee looks like it's lived a very long life. It's very old. Its foot shakes a little bit, and the boy is sobbing. What do you do when you see this boy outside with this Eevee?
She approaches very gently and goes down to like eye level and goes, "Hey."
Hi.
Hi.
Can you please help Rodney? He's very sick.
I can help him to a certain degree, but I can't help him in this life. I can only help him in the afterlife. He's going to die. I'm sorry.
What?
I'm here to make sure he goes to the right place.
No, he can't. He can't die. He can't die. He's my best friend. You can't take him. I won't let you take him.
I'm not going to take him. I'm just here to make sure wherever he goes, I can't stop it. I wish I could, but I can't. I'm just here to make sure that he's going to be happy, he's going to be safe, and no one will hurt him once he passes on. I'm sorry, but this has happened. But he looks like he's lived a long life, and he loves you very much.
I tried to make him happy as possible. Can I go too with him?
One day, it's going to take a little while, but one day when you're older, I'm sure he'll be there waiting for you.
He thinks about this for a moment. How do I know he'll be happy?
You don't always know, but you have to pray and hope that he will be. It's all any of us can do. I've lost a lot of people in my life, and if you really want, I can organize a seance and speak with him after he goes.
What's a seance?
It's where you speak to the spirits of the dead to make sure they're okay.
Wow. Is that a psychic thing?
Some psychics, not everyone.
He looks down and the EV like starts to nuzzle his dryish nose against his cheek. And then he turns to the Pokemon and he says, Rodney, I don't want you to go, but I think you'll be happier if you leave, at least for now. I promise I'll come find you later, though. And she'll give the Pokemon a hug. And shortly after, you will see a beautiful mist that only you can see rise out from the body of the Pokemon. And the spirit of the Eevee turns towards you with calm eyes, and it waits.
She's going to go to Evie and go, is there anything you want to tell your friend before you head off?
Tell him not to be scared.
Mm-hmm.
Tell him I'll be watching.
Mm-hmm.
And tell him that someday he'll find someone new that will make him just as happy as he made me. And I will be very happy when that day comes.
I will. She goes up to the boy and delivers the message.
The boy seems to... he's still crying because he realizes what just happened, but he seems to, at least absorb what you're saying. And he sort of like clutches the body of the Eevee and just clutches it very tightly, sobbing.
Do you want me to ring your parents? Know the number?
He says he'll nod.
Okay. I'm just going to ferry him across, your friend. Make sure he gets to where he needs to go. He'll miss you, but he loves you, okay? Then she stands up, looks at the Eevee. Are you ready to go?
The Eevee will bow its head.
She gets her staff and sends him to the good place.
Which is to the right. Slash to the right. A golden portal that only you can see appears, basking the spirit in a very warm, pleasant light. And he will go in. You will go and take care of the boy. And he will return back to the parents. Obviously, the parents will be very upset and sad to hear that their Eevee is gone, but they will promise the boy that they will give Rodney a proper burial. And they will thank you for taking care of him. As you are on your way back home, 3 spirits will actually, that are just wandering around, seem to be lost. Now, this happens a lot. Sometimes spirits don't end up finding their way to the underworld, and they're like wandering around aimlessly. And the 3 spirits you can see clearly appear to be an older man and woman. Maybe they're a couple, maybe. Plus another young, maybe mid-20s man, human, but they're wandering around and they seem lost.
I'll get out her phone and head over. She's going to like put like a Bluetooth thing on.
Mm-hmm.
She's not going to turn it on, but she's going to have it there just in case people see her. And
Right.
she's going to walk over and go, "Hi, you a little lost?"
Which one do you go to? The older man, the older woman, or the young man?
Are they close together, or
They're relatively close together.
this is going to go close enough so they're all earshot?
The young man turns towards you, and he has a very like weird look on his face, and he says, "Can you see us?"
Yeah, it's kind of my job.
Job? I don't understand. What kind of job?
The job you don't normally get unless you kind of screw something up. But hey,
The mother puts a hand on the person's shoulder and it says, "Kenneth, if she can see us, she must be a very powerful psychic. Only psychics can speak to the dead." "Yes, but I didn't know that they can see us wandering around."
not all the time, just sometimes. Look for the stuff. But yeah, I have a few questions to you, for you. Were you good people tonight?
Good people. They look at each other and says, I'd like to believe so. I would like to believe we're pretty good people," the couple says.
Oh, okay. My job is to figure out where you will go.
Oh.
I know if you're lying. Trust me.
"Oh, well, we're trying to find someone," the young man says. "Yes, we've been wandering around looking for someone for a very long time. Maybe you could help us."
Yeah, sure. Giving a bit more information.
"My name is Kenneth Carmel, and this is my mom and dad," he says.
I know who you're talking about. Let's go.
You
Follow
do?
me. Keith Carmel?
You know our little boy Keith? Oh
He's
my
grown up
goodness.
now.
This is, oh, praise Arceus, you
doing
know
as well.
Keith?
He's a reporter now. He's a journalist.
We knew that he was trying to be one, and we've been trying for so long to try to find him, to try to speak to him, but we've been through a lot.
I guess you have. Come with me and I'll let you meet him.
Meanwhile, who had the next it was Molly? Oh, how perfect. So, Molly, right now you are visiting Keith because Bullet and his family decided that they wanted to reunite a little bit. Bullet and Inky, they sort of have left the nest a little bit, to so to speak. Like, Bullet still hangs out with you all the time, of course, but every now and then he's a married man, so you guys are having dinner, and you decided that you guys would just catch up a little bit, and so you've got Bullet and you've got Inky, and the children are flying around the place, and Bullet obviously is very happy to see you, and you guys are just having a good time. And I think Keith is going to ask you and says, "So, Molly, how is Alicia doing?"
Molly blushes and she smiles. She smiles a bit. She says, "Well, she's been working hard as always, but we always make sure to set aside time just for ourselves at night.
Oh, that's good. You guys have been together for so long. And he's watching watching Inky chase one of the other Murkrow, the baby Murkrow, around because they're like getting into maybe they're like trying to get into one of your bags or something. And Inky seems to. You can't understand what she's... Well, no, maybe you do understand what she's saying now.
I think I do.
Yeah, you do understand what she's saying now. So you can hear Inky scold one of them to stop messing around with Auntie Molly's like bag or something.
Yeah.
And Keith is then gonna watch this and says, "So, have you and Alicia thought about, kids, just out of curiosity? I've heard that Tiffany was looking into having a child with Kyle."
Yeah, actually, Tiffany and Kyle are expecting.
They are?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you never answered my question. That's amazing. I should call her up and find out and congratulate her. But how about you?
Well, we have talked about it, actually, and Molly like walks over to her bag and she pulls out a little envelope and she says, I just got this today," and she opens it up and unfolds it. It's actually an adoption approved paper.
Oh my goodness! Congratulations! He looks at it. Is it a boy? Is it a girl? Is it a what are you adopting? Who are you adopting?
It's actually a baby girl.
Okay.
Yeah, baby girl.
Do you know where the baby girl is from? Where it was born? Which
I
region?
think she was. Yeah, she was born in Kanto.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of another. Molly could see a lot of similarities with the baby and herself, so she decided to ask Alicia if they could adopt.
Keith will pick up the paper right away, and he'll start looking at the document, and is, "Oh, she's so adorable." Roll a perception, please, Molly.
Okay, perception.
Or whatever the Pokemon version of perception is.
Yep.
Oh wow. Okay. So
21,
Molly,
yeah.
you are still at Keith still lives in an apartment, and over his shoulder, so he's looking at this document, and over the shoulder behind him is a window outside, and you can see 3 heads pop up peering through the window, and as soon as you see the heads, you immediately recognize them as Clefairy.
And Molly like looks over there and she's breathes in and she says, excuse me, Keith, I believe we have visitors. And she goes over and she opens the window. She says hello to all of you.
The Clefairy will say, "Ooh, Miss Molly, we heard the good news." Yes, we heard the good news. You're about to have your first child. Oh yes, first child. Yes. Congratulations. This is an amazing time. It took you long enough, one of them says. Yeah, 8 years? Why so long?
Well, you see, with 2 women, it takes a little bit longer. The whole process takes a little bit longer. And she kind of chuckles and she says, I just have to know a few things before I bring the baby over. What exactly do you plan to do with the baby?
We're going to christen it. Yes, christen it. Yes, we're going to give it a ritual. Yes, proper ritual. Everyone who has been married under our law must go through the ritual. Yes, it is our law.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't want to break Clefairy law. So, can you just tell me what exactly does this ritual entail?
Oh, that's a secret. It's a deep secret. We don't want to spoil the surprise. Oh no.
Um, uh, does it involve eating berries and just roasting berries, maybe some costumes and speech from the Clefable?
Oh, she says, that would give it away if we said yes or no. Mm-hmm. Yes, we can't give you any clues as to what the surprise is.
Oh boy. Well, we will have our baby back right after the ritual, right?
They said, oh yes, you will have the baby back after the ritual. Oh yes.
Okay. Well, I am really looking forward. I'm really looking forward to this ritual.
They said, and we are also looking forward to showing you the ritual. Yes, it will be so perfect. We've been preparing for this for a very long time.
Our baby will not be hurt in any way, will she?
They say, it doesn't hurt Clefairy. No, it doesn't hurt Clefairy.
Well, humans and Clefairy are a little bit different.
They said, no, they're not. We're equal. Yes, we're all equal. Yes, we treat each other the same way.
Well, of course we're equal, but, human bodies and Clefairy bodies are just a little bit different.
They said, well, if you say so, guess we'll find out for the ritual.
Molly rubs her head and she says, Alicia and I were married under your law, but we didn't exactly know we were being married.
Oh, well, that's too bad. Yeah, too bad.
I suppose that'll teach us to spy on your traditional ceremonies.
Yes. Yeah.
And she reaches out the window and she kind of holds out her hand for like a handshake.
And they will the one in the middle will hold it out and shake her hand and says, here is a pre-gift for the baby for the ritual, and they'll give you a box of some sort.
Okay. She takes it. She says, "Thank you very much. Is it okay if I open this now?"
Yes. Make sure that it fits. Mm-hmm.
So she opens it up.
So she can open it up, and inside is this really beautiful moonlight white gown, and looks like it's meant to be put onto a cleffa, but it probably would fit a baby human as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, this is ceremonial robes for the ritual. Yes, it can't be dirty. Don't let it get dirty or stained. It has to be white, like the moon. Yes, like Molly Moon.
Molly, she holds up the dress. She's looking at it. She says, "I will let you know. I will have a fitting, and I'll let you know."
Good.
But, thank you very much for this.
Good. Take good care of it, because if you rip it or it gets dirty, you will die. Yes, you will die.
Well, I wouldn't want that to happen.
Oh no, that would not be good at all. No, we like you. We wouldn't want you to die.
Oh, I'm glad you like me. I don't want me or my wife or my child to die either. And she kind of puts emphasis, like, I don't want my child to die either.
Yes. Well, thank you very much for respecting our traditions and culture. Yes, thank you very much.
We are equals, right?
Oh yes, very much so.
And she if there's nothing else, she'll step back, she'll close the window, and she'll turn back to Keith, and she'll say, Alicia is going to kill me.
Keith was watching this whole thing, and he just looks really like stunned. And he says, "What were they saying about like killing you for dirtying a dress?"
Well, it turns out Clefairies are kind of they're a little trigger happy, if you want to call it that.
You get yourself in some really weird situations, Keith says.
You have no idea. And she'll go and she'll sit back down.
He says, "Well, I'm going to go ahead and, before I forget, I should go call up Tiffany and find out and congratulate her myself."
Go right ahead. I'm sure she'll be happy to hear from you.
Meanwhile, Tiffany, you are right now in the middle of helping out with some major Pokemon/human joint contest event. Because now things have changed a lot over the years in terms of the rules of how the Pokemon contests occur. And I'm going to ask you, is there like a theme of some sort that this contest is going to have? Is there like anything creative that you can think of that makes this particular event stand out a little bit from your typical contest?
Could do something with acceptance unity, as humans and Pokemon are both doing the contest together now.
Okay, all right.
Celebrating what makes us different while still being cohesive in one.
Okay. So, and what role do you see yourself? What role do you see yourself within this contest? What do you see yourself doing?
I could see her judging.
You're judging. Okay. All right. So, you're going to be judging this contest, and let's say that you have another contestant, a pair of contestants, because it's supposed to be a human and Pokemon pair. And let's see. We'll say that Jefferson is emceeing because he likes doing that kind of stuff. Jefferson is emceeing, and so he's like the Ryan Seacrest of this particular event right now. And so he is introducing the next group, and we're going to have random Pokemon generator. Hold on. Let's do this randomly. Okay, I actually don't know what this Pokemon is, but it looks pretty. So it's a Minior Core. If you want to look it up, I will put it in the chats here.
No, I can
Hey,
take
it
it.
fits. Minior comes from space.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that is super cute.
Yeah.
Big googly eyes.
It's a Minior Core, and he is...
What color?
we're gonna say
several options.
we're gonna say it's yellow. The one that popped up for me is yellow.
Okay.
And Minior Core is accompanied by a female dressed in an astronaut suit, and they will end up doing a talent routine where the astronaut actually will juggle 3 of these Minior Cores. So we'll say there's a yellow one, a red one, and a blue one. And he's doing this act where he's juggling, and then there's a point where the yellow Minior Core, with surprising strength for the size that it has, actually ends up juggling the trainer as well as the 2 other Minior Cores somehow. And it's definitely something that pleases the crowd. And then at the very end, as a finish, a final finish, the Minior Core will raise up the human astronaut up into the air, and the astronaut will do a nosedive as the audience gasps, and reminiscent, although Molly and Bullet did it way better in style,
Obviously.
reminiscent of that, the blue and red Minior Corps fly down just in time to catch the astronaut before she hits the ground, flips over, lands feet first onto the floor, and ta-da! They finish their act. After the act is over, they wait for Judge Tiffany Jenny's feedback on their act.
That was adorable. Dance Amongst the Stars, which all of you are clearly up-and-coming stars.
Yes, that's what we were going for. Oh, Tiffany, I just wanted to say it's such an honor to meet you. I was a very big fan of yours since I was really little, and I just wanted to say it's just such a great opportunity to finally be able to perform for you.
Oh, thank you.
And they will continue with the rest of the acts. When they go to a break, you guys will, the judges will all go to the back room just to freshen yourselves up, grab some water, and waiting for you backstage is a gentleman in a police uniform. And he's got a bouquet of your favorite flowers, which are
Stargate Lily.
Stargate lilies. He will smile very warmly as he sees you,
Aww.
and he will approach you and give you a deep hug and hand you the flowers for you.
I'll return the hug. Oh, thank you. Pauses, thinks. It's not our anniversary. It's very nice gesture.
He says, I just wanted to surprise you.
Oh, well, I love that. Thank you. Pecks his cheek.
He will give you a kiss back, and he says, how's the show going?
Oh, it's going great. Were you able to see any of it?
I got a chance to catch the last part of the star one.
Oh, that was so cute.
Yeah, it was really cool. He says, I've always been very, the Minior Corps Pokemon, I've always been very puzzled about, so it was really interesting to see one up close.
Yeah, you don't see many of them around here.
Well, scientists say that they're actually from outer space.
Ah, true.
I don't know how that really works, but I don't know. Meeting beings from outer space, I think, would be really, really interesting.
Yeah, interesting, because we do so well with interesting. Well, actually, we do really well with interesting.
How's your brother doing? I don't think I've asked about him recently.
He has been running himself ragged, as he is now the Benoit of Benoit Burgundy and Bass. It is so weird to think my dad retired finally. I never thought I'd see the day. I assumed Noir would just call me and go, he died in his office. Yeah, I expected that. I don't know, maybe the whole thing that he went through.
Yeah, it's, we've been through a lot.
Yeah. But hey, grabs his hand, rests on our stomach. We have a happy future ahead of us. We are good people, and we've earned it.
Yeah. I'm glad that one of us seems confident about this whole parenting thing.
Oh, you're gonna be great.
I don't know about
You
that.
handled Chase brilliantly.
I've never actually taken care of a child before.
Oh, come on. You've handled Ezra and Emmy just fine.
Yeah, but that's different, like when they're pooping or, crying, I can just hand them off and not have to worry about it.
You'll do fine.
If you say so, he says.
I do say so.
He'll give you a smile, and you realize it's time for you to get back onto the stage again.
We have to go back on stage. Are you go to dinner after this, or do you have plans?
I currently don't have plans, but we'll think of some. I'll see if I can come up with something.
Okay. Texas cheek one last time. I gotta go.
Have fun.
I always do. It's so weird judging these things now, because I know what they've been through.
Yeah, but you do it fantastically.
I try.
You will go and finish up the rest of the show. It is a great success, and we'll say that a lot of the money, all the money from this particular show goes to charity. What kind of charity would you say?
Education.
Okay.
With so many Pokemon now being able to go to university now, or humans being able to go to Pokemon universities, I could see this being an area where, yeah, we need money for educational funds.
Roma, did you see Roma's comment about the charity called the Dreamcatchers? The Dreamcatchers charity.
She's dating you hard this entire time.
So later that night, as you are packing up your things, and Kyle is trying to decide what you guys will do for dinner, that is when your phone will ring.
Takes it out.
It's Keith.
Kyle. Keith, right? So
Yes.
many K names. Takes a call. Hey, you.
Oh, hey, Tiffany. How's it going?
Great. Just finished up a contest.
Oh, well, that sounds like fun. Anybody really interesting win?
Oh, yeah. There's a Miniacore group.
He says, I've heard of those. Aren't those the ones from outer space?
Yeah.
Cool. Listen, I just wanted to call real quick just to congratulate you. I've heard the good news.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm such an idiot. I feel like I have told everyone at this point.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to leave you out.
Well, I also been out of town, doing my traveling with
Yes.
my reporting job. So you might have tried contacting me, but I've been really busy. But, well, actually, what are you doing for dinner tonight?
I'm just going out with my husband, Kyle.
Well, Molly's here with Bullet and Inky, and
Aw.
maybe I don't think they would mind. Hey, Molly, you don't mind if we invite Tiffany over, do you?
Oh, sure thing. Come over, Tiffany. You hear Molly in the background. Come on over.
Okay. Are you at your office, or do you want to meet somewhere?
We're over at my apartment.
Okay.
And I think that Kyle's overhearing this, and he says, We're not that far away from Keith's. We should be able to get there within 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, we should be there like 5-10 minutes.
Oh, that sounds perfect. All right.
Oh,
Well,
but no slimy ooh hugs. He's off living his own life.
oh, he is?
Darn it. Yeah, he has his own contest team. I'm so proud.
Oh, well, you'll have to send me with some details. Maybe I could go and do a review.
Oh, he would love that. Okay, we're on our way out the door right now.
All right.
I just need to grab my jacket, make sure my pin goes onto my jacket, and I'll see you soon.
All right. Well, I'll see you soon.
All right.
And he'll hang up.
Thanks.
Now that that's set up, Tiffany, you and Kyle will arrive at the door of Keith's apartment. And we'll say that you might have stopped over. Maybe Kyle got like a bottle of wine or something, because that's just the kind of person he is. So he gets a bottle of Pokemon Berry wine.